Hey guys, welcome back to another video where we take a look at ways to get out of those low elo games. Today we are playing Poppy in the top lane. Now this is not my first Season 11 game, but it is the first Season 11 video that we're putting out. We're going to talk about the impact of Season 11 on the top lane and some of the ramifications. We're also going to talk about just some of the general Season 11 changes, like the changes to Scuttle. Yeah, he's really slippery now. We're going to talk about some of the items, although not really specifically, but just kind of the items in general. And we're going to talk about ways to get you out of those low elo games. So one of the first things to keep in mind is that my mechanics are a little suspect, but I still maintain that the Season 11 Scuttle Crab is a slippery little sucker. So our lane opponent for this game is Alawi, and for those who may not have played against Alawi very much, she can be oppressive, unless you maintain, like I do, superb dodging skills. Dang it. Come on. Really? No. Seriously. Dodge for one. Note to self, I'm looking for a new video editor, but Alawi can be oppressive, especially if you are mechanically a little bit challenged and your reflexes are a little slow and you constantly get hit by her little soul stealer snatcher thingamajigger. So every time I get hit by one of those, I gotta back way up, and then I gotta buy some time for the effects to wear off, and it really just kind of makes it so I can't really farm aggressively. And so that's what actually happened in this game. I was shoved under my turret a lot. But we're gonna talk about ways to manage that and how you still come out ahead in your lane. So after being shoved under my turret and an aborted gank attempt by the enemy Gragas, I'm really just trying to survive a little bit, and I'm looking for a window to back and get some items, get a little bit healthy so I can sustain through some of this damage that the Alawi does. This was going to prove a little bit difficult. The Alawi was really shoving me in. Now, a lot of times I see people back prematurely. They will back because their health is a little bit low, and they will back and they miss a large wave of minions, and then they are behind for the rest of the game. I can't do that. I have to make sure that I'm getting all the XP and as much gold as I can from these waves. I'm not as worried about the gold as I am the XP. You can see I'm already significantly behind in CS. That's okay. It's not ideal, but it's going to be okay. So after shoving me in again, the Alawi disappears, and I think she's backed. And so we're going to look at this, and it's really not that exciting, but it's crucial to understanding how lanes work. I think Alawi has backed, and so what I want to do is shove this wave into her turret so that the turret kills all these minions and she loses out on XP. Now this will do one of two things. It will either deny the Alawi this wave of XP, or, like it does here, it will force out her teleport. The Alawi tried to do a sneaky TP behind me because she wanted to fight, but I could hear it even though it was in the bush, so I knew she was coming. So I just stayed safe. Now, I know that little sequence doesn't look exciting, but it's crucial, and you're going to see how it pays off in a little bit. I did not allow the Alawi to do what she wanted. I forced her to make a decision. She was either going to miss XP or she was going to use up her teleport. And so now I do have one advantage. I have the teleport advantage in this lane. And I'm going to use that in just a few minutes to really bust this lane wide open. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to unsuccessfully dodge her little soul stealer, and I'm going to continue to get shoved under my turret. Now let's freeze it for just a second and take a look at my next decision. Clearly this laning phase has not been ideal, but in truth, I actually feel pretty comfortable about where I'm at in the lane at this point. But we are 10 minutes into the game and I haven't managed to get a back in yet, and I need to do it. And so, after pushing forward a wave and seeing that we're on a cannon wave, I decide that I'm going to sneak in a back and use my teleport to get back to lane. But then, let's watch what happens. I start to channel my back, but then I see the Alawi step into a bush. I know she's planning to back as well, and so I decide, again, to force her to make a difficult decision. She can either get her back in, or she can miss this wave that I'm going to push under her turret. Now, she recognizes the situation and she decides not to back. But this would again give us another opportunity. I finally get a gank, and when the volley bear shows up in my lane, we take a fight. It doesn't go great, but it doesn't go poorly either. I had to flash out, but now this is my window. This is the window where I actually take control of my lane. I immediately start to back, and I'm going to get some items, and I'm going to return immediately to the lane with my teleport. and doing so is going to put an immense amount of pressure on the Alawi. She's already very low, and I'm going to be healthy and a lot stronger than when we took our last fight. Recognizing this situation and seeing that I still have the volley bear in my lane, she decides to back. This is the right decision for her. If she stays, she's going to die anyway. But as a result of me managing the minion waves the way I did and managing my teleport the way I did, I am going to force the Alawi to miss 2 entire waves of minions, including this cannon minion right here. This is the equivalent of getting some kills. Not only that, but I'm also getting turret plates in the meantime. So this is a huge, huge win. It was nothing exciting, and you can see I'm still 0, 0, and 0, but I'm now in complete control over this lane. The enemy Gragas shows up to try to stop me from getting this second plate, but he doesn't manage to do it, and one of my favorite things about Poppy is stopping Gragas from getting in on me. I could fight him here, I'm significantly stronger than him, but I wasn't quite sure where the Alawi was, and so I didn't want to give up any free kills. And so we returned to our laning, but now I know I'm able to skirmish a little bit more with the Alawi, and so instead of just trying to survive the lane, I'm actually looking for an opportunity to fight her. And one would show up pretty quickly. Alawi shoves a wave under my turret and she wants to get some turret plates. I use that opportunity to stun her up against a wall and take a really, really good trade with her. She couldn't really trade back. And, did you see that? I actually dodged one of her soul stealers. So now I know it's on. The Alawi is not respecting the amount of damage that I'm going to be able to do to her, and she walks right up next to a wall again, and so I stun her, and she's dead. It's important to note that kill didn't come because I was able to outtrade her in that moment, although I was. But really, I was only able to outtrade her in that moment because for the first 15 minutes of the game, I managed my waves and my teleport a little bit better than she did. And so now I'm in complete control of my lane, and I'm looking to make things happen. So I return to lane, and Alawi has shoved in my wave. My mid lane Xerath has roamed to my lane, the enemy Gragas shows up, and we've got a 2v2. I know we're going to win this. The Gragas isn't very strong, and my Xerath is actually pretty strong, and so we take this 2v2, we get a really good trade. Alawi trades back extremely well, but she can't contend with the Xerath ult. And so that's a quick 2 for 0 pickup. And again, I use this opportunity when Alawi's dead to shove in another wave, get some more damage on the turret, and she is falling further and further behind. I shove one more wave and then I grab a reset. And now it's time for us to look at where this leaves us in this Season 11 meta. You can see we're over 17 minutes into the game. I'm winning my lane, but I haven't knocked down my Tier 1 turret yet. And my teammates are up 21 kills, a whole lot of gold, and they're knocking on the front door of the enemy base. So, why am I telling you all this? Well, we have to acknowledge what the Season 11 means to the top lane, and all lanes for that matter. In truth, it's a pretty snowbally meta, and once you fall behind, you're in big, big trouble. Getting 1 or 2 kills up on the enemy provides you the opportunity to continue to kill them all game. But it's not every champ that has that ability. Yeah, I can 1v1 this Samira right now, but that's only because I've got 3 levels on her. I use my TP to get to the bot lane, but how much impact am I really having on this game? A tank Poppy is not the one who influences the outcome of this game. It's really the damage-dealing MF and the damage-dealing Xerath. This is a meta that really, really favors those damage dealers. Also, let's not forget about how tricky this Scuttlecrab has become. I know, you saw the highlights earlier in the game, thanks video editor. I'm new to Poppy. I haven't played her in a long time and I was messing up my queue. Anyway, back to the story. The bottom line is I've watched and played enough Season 11 preseason games to know that this meta is currently shaping up to be 1, very snowbally, and 2, really in favor of damage dealers. I think we're going to see the end, at least for a short while, of the tank bruiser top laner who can influence the game with a really good split push. Instead, I think you're going to see a return of a lot of those what were considered off-meta picks in the top lane just a few patches ago. You're going to see a lot more Quinn top lane, a lot more Vayne top lane, a lot more Jinx and Lucian top lane, because those guys dish out so much damage. That doesn't mean that the info in this video is not worth it. It's definitely worth it. you're still going to have to manage your waves and manage all that. So focus on that for now and stay tuned to this channel. We are going to talk about all the new champions that you're going to need to know to be really successful in that top lane and get out of that low elo. So after dominating the game, not me personally, but my team dominating the game, the enemy forfeited, and that's it. It's not really an exciting end, but the information in this video is super valuable. And so I ask, if you like this video even a tiny bit, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and we will see you next time.